Hi guys, this was my absolute favourite little helicopter. Picked it up in a charity shop a few years back for £1.99 and it was an absolute bargain. It actually worked straight away. So I'm not sure how many years I've had it for. What I usually do is I put it in our packing case when we go on holiday, and it gives me something to do when we're away. But last time I tried it, it just absolutely refuses to do anything at all. So we've got power. Turn it on. Right, it did actually recognise it then, didn't it? You've got a little flicker there, but nothing's happening. So I think I've killed it at some time or other. Not quite sure how, but something's killed it. So I thought I might see if I can make it solar powered. Not to fly, just so that it fires up when the sun shines on a suitable solar panel. So I'm going to take it apart so we can do a tear down on it, I suppose, and then see if I can just rig the motor up. So we're just running the motor straight off the solar panel. And potentially I could even use one of those solar lights so it charges up during the day and then runs at night. But I think I'll just look at see if we can connect a solar panel directly to the motor. Or motors, it has two motors. Right, I'll bring the camera in a bit and we'll have a close-up. Right, I've just double-checked the battery is fully charged. So there's something not right with it. So we'll have a look inside anyway. I don't think we're going to repair it. So we'll just have a look, see what it looks like inside. If nothing else, I'll be able to connect the battery direct to the motor and check the motor is okay. I keep saying motor, there's two motors in there. That's the LED that flashes to indicate it's working, and that is the infrared sensor down there. So there's our two motors. That motor faces down, pinion gear at the bottom drives that gear, which is the top rotor. And that motor faces up, pinion gear drives the bottom rotor. And that is a dummy, if I remember rightly. Yeah, there's no wires go back there, there's no motor in there, that's just a dummy. So, what we could try and do is just connect the battery up It's got a common white wire, both of the whites go to the same place. Oh, in fact, it's actually labelled. Is that labelled top rotor and bottom rotor? No, M1 and M2. Camera picking that up? Out of focus. It's upside down, but that says M1, that says M2. So if I stick that to the table so it doesn't run away, I'll get a bit of blue tack. And then we'll see if we can put a battery on those positions. Just before I go any further, I don't know if we can actually see this. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but it just moved a fraction. In fact, it did almost half a revolution of the rotor just now. Yeah. So something's trying to work. Might yet be able to save it. So before I take it apart any further, I'm going to fiddle with it a bit more. Definitely some movement there. I'm going to spend a bit more time on it before I give up on it. Right, move the camera so I can do what I'm doing and you can see what happens. All I'm going to do, the white wires from the motors go direct to the positive of the battery. So I'm going to use this bit of wire, go from the negative of the battery to the black of one of the motors. If I can get in there, so I'm cutting out all the circuitry and just going direct to the motor. I need a bit more space to work. Ah, hang on, one of the black wires has just come right off. That might make life a little bit easier to do what I'm trying to do. Right, so that's the top motor is working, or the top rotor. So I should be able to short out using this. Yeah, and the other one's working. So, both motors are fine. Right, colours look a bit funny through the camera, but we can at least see this side. Those will be, I'm guessing, without following the circuit through, but I'm guessing those will be the two transistors that turn on the propellers, rotors, motors. And then all the stuff up at that end will be feeding the infrared signal in to this chip somewhere. We don't really need to know the fine detail. And that's the on-off. That's the infrared receiver. Goes through the bits and pieces there and ends up on this chip. Chip decodes the signal and will send a signal either to, well, it'll be sending signals to both rotors because they both spin at the same time, but it will be increasing the speed on one of them or decreasing the speed on the other to make it turn. Power to both of them makes it climb. More power to one of them will make it tend to turn left or turn right. It's that simple. It's only 3 channels. Power up and down and left and right. So it might be one of those two is playing up. That would be a challenge to try and replace them. Or it could be anything else on the circuit board from my point of view. I don't think it was the fact that that wire fell off. I think that was just coincidence while I was working on it. I could solder it back on just to make sure, but I doubt that that was the problem. I would love to get this one working again. It's just fun. Well, I haven't soldered that other motor on yet. I just gave it a try with just the one motor. And it's working. Just the one. Oh, it stopped again. Ah. Well, I'm glad you saw it. It did at least work for a second. Right, this is really teasing me now. I get a little burst of a couple of revolutions and then it stops again. I've even tried putting a magnet. I don't think there's any reason to think a magnet will work, but I've been putting that next to the, I think that's the gyro stabilizer there. You see, we're getting a kick. But I think I'm going to stop wasting my time. I'm going to go back to what I was going to do originally. Put the solar panel on it. Right, obviously I'll tidy those wires up in a minute. But that's what I wanted. A solar powered helicopter. Whether I bother trying to fix that in the long term, I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. So I'll put it all back together with a solar panel hanging out the back of it. Well, there we are. So no circuit board in there, just a wire to the solar panel going straight to the motors. And if I put the sun over the solar panel, there we go. Yeah, I'll probably have to put some blue tack under it or something to stop it falling over. But yeah, that does what I wanted it to do. Don't know how strong the sun will need to be to do the same effect, but it should work. I've also remembered one of the blades is broken, which is why it's rattling quite a bit. Yeah, that one is missing the tip, so it's unbalanced anyway. So yeah, there we go. We now have a solar powered helicopter. It would have been nice to have fixed it, but that's not going to happen tonight. Probably not going to happen full stop. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.